Welcome back to Kearsarge Chronicle. We're here today at the Flying Goose Brew Pub at their beverage section. And with me today is Adam Bronstein from Sutton Strings. Welcome, Adam.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, talk a little guitar today. You own a guitar store in Sutton.
Yeah, right down the road here.
How long have you been in business?
Let's see, I opened the peak of the recession, which was end of 2008, early 2009. I think a time where a lot of people were kind of interested in maybe trying something else and kind of doing, an exploratory sort of thing.
So business has been pretty good for you over there.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a great few years.
Yeah, what kind of guitars do you carry?
It's definitely catered towards the, I'd say the upper intermediate to advanced player. Maybe someone who's looking for their second or third guitar. So we don't really have many beginner instruments. A couple lying around for some locals may be interested in picking up something for their kids or to start with, but very, very specialized and high end and boutique instruments.
And are there any name brands people would know?
The business model was to stay away from Martin and Gibson and Taylor, some of the really bigger, well-known brands, and really focus in on some of the niche brands. Looking for some unique opportunities because there's, it's just like any other industry. People tend to kind of hone in on certain brands for all sorts of different things. Whether it's clothing or cars, anything like that.
Yep.
But I've found personally, once you start kind of looking outside of that realm that everyone's real used to, you start discovering something really, really special and something really unique that most people just don't really delve into, and then they're just rewarded with such an incredible product that they just never knew really existed. I've got some real fanatics and a lot of fun to work with because there's always a new configuration or a new model or something to help kind of round out their collection.
Right, the latest and greatest.
Yeah, but exactly. But some of the brands actually that I carry do have a bit of a cult following. And some of that is definitely due to some of the musicians that play these guitars. So maybe I haven't sold them,
but they're actually using
them. Yeah. So they're either sponsored by, they're sponsored by the builders. There's some real known players. Tommy Emmanuel is probably the most well known within the fingerstyle realm, which is finger picking.
Yep.
And he plays what's called Maton guitars out of Australia. So he's been a real important driver for sales. And there's some really well-known musicians such as Keith Urban, the country singer, Jack Johnson. So there's some guys like that who are playing some of these instruments.
Interesting.
As well. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on your website and I've looked at some of the guitars carried, and they're just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, a lot of it is artwork. It really is. It's catered. Some of it is really catered towards the player and the gigging musician. Some real high-end production instruments with fantastic amplification systems. We also carry some of the finest acoustic amplifiers out there. So, I can set up a musician. A gigging musician with just the ultimate setup, really. But it also, we carry a lot of boutique instruments, which are, hand built, one at a time through small factories. Sometimes they'll produce only 7 a week.
Wow.
Right on down to 12 a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So they're very, very small builders.
Yeah, that's a niche.
It is a niche, but you would not believe the care and the craftsmanship that goes into some of these instruments.
So are there any notable musicians out there who buy your product?
I haven't had any, I guess, celebrities or any, really, really well-known musicians. Mostly I'm catering towards smaller musicians and you know, guys who geek out at bars. And
So how would people get in touch with you?
it's currently appointment only. However, I'm available pretty much all the time. I just ask that people call ahead or email to set up a time just to make sure that I'm around and not running errands. And yeah.
And website they can find that where?
Yeah, the website is definitely a very important part of the business. It's very informative and in a way kind of acts as a storefront. You know, especially given where we are out in kind of rural New Hampshire, it's very crucial to have a very strong and quality web presence.
Right, especially something like
this, very niche. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it sounds like a place to stop by, or at least browse your website. And
yeah.
You know, Adam, I thank you for coming on. And
all right, thank you, Sean.
Stop into the shop. Once again, something wonderful is happening in the Kearsarge area. Back to you.